right, guys, welcome back. Before we jump into asks, I'm going to go through a few of these YouTube comments, okay? So this is the first one. It's about the dragon dinosaur theme that I was talking about before. Um, and I do have more to say about that, a little bit about the pictures in Sam's room, so we'll get to that in a minute. But um, the comment says, "Isn't that a crown on the head of the dinosaur dragon? I was sure it's supposed to be a crown. I think it is too. And I don't know what that means." We'll get into the dinosaur a little bit more in a minute, but I think I need to do more research on it. I don't think I've completely nailed it down yet. But then she says, "It's likely just trying to grasp at air, haha, but the golden apple can also be the symbol of war. In Ilias, Eris, the goddess of discord and chaos, got angry for not being invited to the party. She dropped a golden apple that was meant to be for the most beautiful female. Of course, Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite all wanted to claim it. They asked the prince Paris to decide. Aphrodite promised the most beautiful human female, Helena or Elena, for the prince, who accepted it, and that is how the Trojan War started against Greece's super group. Um, so that's really interesting about the golden apples and the dragon. It starts a war. I need to do some more research, but as I put in reply here, and we're going to get into this in just a minute, I just read another post about the Odyssey. So I do think it's safe to say that Gimple is using, the Iliad, the Odyssey, Homer's works as a template here. So I think that there really is something to this. And I'll show you what I mean and try to bring it together a little bit more here in just a minute. So I want to show you guys this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but The Art of Suicide wrote this post called Daryl Dixon is an Apocalyptic Allegory for the Odyssey. Like I said, I read through it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to link it in the show notes, but I encourage everyone to go read it. Basically, she lays out how every single part of the Odyssey, we have seen it in Daryl's journey. So you know how we keep talking about how he's on like a pilgrimage type of journey and they keep having symbolism about this pilgrimage and how it's a religious journey. It really does mirror the Odyssey, and she's done an excellent job of laying this all out. I am familiar with the Odyssey, but I would not have been able to do it in this much detail without rereading it. And then she even finds this quote from director Daniel Percival, where he did compare Daryl's journey to the Odyssey. So this is not just a theory, this has been confirmed by the powers that be. So I re-blogged it and I'm going to link to it, but this is what I mean when I say clearly they are using Homer's works, which are the classics, the Iliad and the Odyssey, as templates in various ways. All right, and this really does show, I'll just read you what I wrote here. Oh, I skipped over the first part when she talked about the blind prophet, but remember that there is the blind looking man, bald guy, in the trailer for Daryl Dixon, and I said he looked like an oracle. One of the last trials for Odysseus before he gets home to his wife is talking to the blind prophet. So I think that's what that is. They're showing that in Daryl Dixon. And after that, he goes home to his wife, Penelope, and he has been separated from her for 10 years. And, The Art of Suicide points out too that the woman he's heading toward cannot be a new woman. It cannot be a new love interest or a new relationship for him. It has to be someone he left behind 10 years ago. That's what I keep saying. I can't imagine, I always say, just for the sake of not being totally fanatical about it, that if by the end of Daryl Dixon he has a love interest and it's not Beth, then I will shut up about it. But guys, that is not going to happen. It's not a thing. Okay. I mean, between what I have to tell you about Operation Lead the Walker Away and this, I mean, it's very clear every step along the way that they've used the Odyssey as a template. And at the end, Odysseus does not find a new person who becomes his true love. He goes back to the love he left behind 10 years ago. It has to be someone who is already established. Okay. It's going to be Beth. It can't be anybody else. There's no one else that fits that bill. Anyway, okay, I'll stop now. But I'm going to link this and I really encourage you all to read it because it's fabulous. Um, and then there's one other thing. Oh, I was going to talk about the pictures in Sam's room. Hold on. Galadriel Jones got this for us. The pictures I was trying to take of this were so blurry and so pixelated, and it's really hard to get a good screenshot. So Sam is drawing pictures in his room, and the pictures I do think are a foreshadow and also a way of laying out arcs for us, right? The one that he's working on right now in this picture that's on the floor that he's actually coloring is the picture of him being um, tied to a tree by walkers. And I actually do have a breakdown of that in Old Meta that I will link here about what I thought it meant. But while it does have to do with Carol and what Carol said to him, that, remember she was trying to scare him so he wouldn't tell anyone that she took the gun. She told him this and was threatening that she would tie him to a tree and walkers would come eat him. Of course, it has to do with that for Sam. But in terms of symbolism, it looks exactly like the girl who was tied to a tree in episode 15 that Daryl and Aaron find. So there's a double meaning here. It's telling us about a girl tied to a tree. It's a foreshadow, right? Now, these other three pictures up here that you can see are the ones that I'm really concerned with here. This picture, you can actually get a screenshot 2 seconds earlier and get the whole thing, but this looks exactly like the cabin from the missing 17 days that Beth was seen filming at, and it even has a red car in front of it. And that red car is important because the pictures of the cabin that we have, which I can show you, have a red car in front of them. Okay, this is one of my albums. So I just wanted to show you guys these. You've probably seen them before, but these are the pictures that were posted. This is the cabin. This is from the Spoiling Dead fans, which are defunct now. But they're the ones who posted these as spoiler pictures. You can see the doors boarded up. They sprayed some red here as though it's blood. There are even crosses here, which is interesting because the white cross on the car was a Grady indication. They're the ones who saw Emily filming here. She was seen going in. They also caught Alana Masterson. This house was next door. It looks very plantation-ish, but it was part of it. Do not mow because they were using this for The Walking Dead. There was dogs. There was something about a Rottweiler that we did not see as well. Um, Somebody asked the owner of the Rottweiler, "Is your dog going to be on The Walking Dead? He's such a badass looking dog." Yes, we have 2 scenes next season, and that would have been season 5. Again, we haven't seen this. So they filmed something with a Rottweiler. Here's Alana at that same location. Um, so the location is this one, 441 North Hill. We reported back when they filmed there, Tara, Glenn, and Maggie were searching a house. Our people on the groin saw a white van pull up right to the steps of the house. A blonde woman with a ponytail to the side stepped out and rushed into the house by 2 guards. Later that night, so that was Emily. Later that night, Stephen posted a pic on Instagram from inside the house showing what looked like a closet or bathroom door with the caption, "Open the door." So these are just all of the things that came out at the time, right? This is the church. I believe this is the steeple of the white church where they tried to bury Beth because this is a filming location. They were filming at night, and this is all they could see. But this is probably where they tried to bury her. This is the same location at night. Closer location, you can see the blood. Here's the car. Okay. Not only is this a red car with the windows, broken out, but this looks a lot like a sheriff's star to me. So we have the cabin with the red car in front of it, right? Now, look at this picture. Like I said, we can actually get all of it, and it just isn't in this picture, but it's a cabin with a red car in front of it. You see how similar that is? So this is showing us, suggesting what happened during the missing 17 days. That's all I'm saying. Then we have this picture. Me and my fellow theorists were going over this, and we can't quite agree on what it is. It's very blurry and hard to see. You make it bigger, and it just gets more pixelated. There have been some theories before about it being a representation of the Big Dipper, and specifically Charles's wagon, which is like the Norwegian version of the Big Dipper. I'm not convinced that's what it is. It could be, and it definitely could be both. I mean, there are many layers. It could be many things. The only reason I don't think that is because the wagon part, that what it's suggesting is this is the wagon, and then the Dipper like handle would be off, but this doesn't look like the Dipper handle. This little thing, it does look like a constellation, these 4 or 5 lights, but that would be the Dipper and there's no handle. You know what I mean? It just doesn't quite fit to me. But if I don't have a problem with it being the Dipper either, because that's still a Beth symbol. So either way, but to me, what this looks like is this looks like a baby bassinet, and it looks like there's a dark figure leaning over it. I don't know what these lights would be in that case, so I can't 100% qualify it. Now that sounds like a really dark thing, so some dark figure leaning over a baby bassinet. But we've seen dark imagery and symbolism around children a lot in The Walking Dead. Remember Denise, and that when they went to the pharmacy, she found what was essentially a place where a baby had died, and it was very dark, and it disturbed her. We've seen children being taken. We saw a lot of that, not only in Fear the Walking Dead with Madison, but we saw it in The Ones Who Live. the CRM had some big program for taking children away. I mean, it's a common theme in The Walking Dead, and I don't think we've really seen what it's leading to yet. It's a storyline that we haven't seen fulfilled. And then we have all of the child and baby symbolism around Beth. So I don't know what this picture means. I'm not even 100% sure what it is a picture of, but it makes sense to me that it would be a representation of the child and baby symbolism, and something dark that's going to happen, and we just haven't seen it yet. And then over here, this picture is difficult to see on the far left. It is what looks to me like a green dinosaur, but the right corner has folded down as though a fan is blowing it or something, so you can't see the whole thing. But this could be a representation of the dragon, right? So the point is, I feel like these pictures are giving us a representation of things that are happening, even though it's thematic, in the show. In terms of the dinosaur, or I should call it the dragon, right, from the constellation, the dragon and the golden apples, um, going back to the golden apples being guarded by the dragon, I feel like in a way this makes sense because if this does have to do with babies and children, you would always say that the children are their treasure, right? Is what they're going to guard more than anything else. And we do think that that will be true of Daryl and Beth. Of course, Beth will be Daryl's treasure, but it's more commonly said about children, right? So you could almost see it as a representation of the dragon guarding the treasure and the children of the treasure. And we do have Daryl who takes care of Rick's kids, right? And we do think that Beth is going to be taking care of kids. So I'm not sure what exactly this is pointing to or what exactly it's going to look like, but I think it's something along these lines is what they're hinting at with these pictures. So I just wanted to go through that really quickly. I don't know if there's any more of these you guys need to see. Oh, this is Stephen Yeun's post. This is what they're talking about. He said, open the door, and it's like inside. And we don't know what this is. We haven't seen this. We don't know what it leads to. But I'm actually just thinking this now. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't even say it because it's going to confuse you guys. When I get to that long meta about Operation Lead the Walkers Away, there is a part in that sequence where um, he's trying to open the door to a tractor factory and get the walkers to come out so that he can kill them. They're trying to get rid of the walkers there. And they make a big deal about the door opening. And then there's like a metal plate behind the door and they can't get to the walkers that way. But they make a big deal about that part. So I wonder if that's connected to this. I will have to look into that more. But anyway, just some interesting things to see. This is showing it again. This is showing the different places where they filmed. Here's a church. Somebody thought that Morgan might have been there. We don't know for sure that that's him, but they found someone that looked like Morgan in his coat. Might have been, don't know. And then we're going to get into some social media posts. So that's about all I have to say about that. Okay, so now let's go back to the asks. How about this one? That suspect Facebook account just posted something really significant. I'm just going to leave this here and get your thoughts. See below the pictures for full song lyrics. Daryl is no longer a young man. The apocalypse started well into his adult years when he was under the influence of Merle, alcohol and drugs, traveling around aimlessly, committing petty crimes, and being bad for himself and for the world generally. He slowly came out of that mindset after joining Rick, Grimes, Carol, and the other survivors of TWD, learning what it is to care about someone and to try to do good to help others. When he found himself in France, he met Isabel and helped her nephew reach safety. Now in Spain, he reflects back on his life of constant fighting to survive, feeling grief from the loss of Isabel, being alone, and a lack of fulfillment. What is the meaning of his life? Can he dare to look for love in this ugly, barren world? And then we're going to go into song lyrics. Well, before we get into the song lyrics, um, I just want to point out that even though we do see this, like this is something you could probably glean from the trailer and from the first 3 minutes that were released, where he says, he talks about how they've just done nothing but run and fight and run and fight, and that's not really any way to live. So, okay, you could get this from what has been released, but this is still really detailed, you know? It's kind of a leap to go from, oh, he's reflecting that, you know, running and fighting are not the best way to live, to um, reflecting back on his life of constant fighting to survive, feeling grief from the loss of Isabel, being alone, and a lack of fulfillment. It's quite presumptuous on the part of the writer to think that they know all of that about Daryl from that one line. And I'm not saying they're being presumptuous. I'm saying this is coming from the powers that be. They're giving these writers insight and saying, write this, okay? Because they want us to know that this is where Daryl's at. So this is quite detailed, right? So then they have these lyrics. And they posted this, with the lyrics on the page next to Daryl, but I'm going to come down here, I think, and read them here. Well, I spent a lifetime looking for you. Single bars and good time lovers were never true. Playing a fool's game, hoping to win, and telling those sweet lies and losing again. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. Leah, looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Hoping to find a friend and a lover, I'll bless the day I discover another heart looking for love. This is this is really sweet, you guys. If this is talking about Beth, and it totally is, like that's the point. It's exactly everything we've always said and everything we've always believed, right? And I was alone then, no love in sight. I did everything I could to get me through the night. Don't know where it started or where it might end. I turned to a stranger just like a friend. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find a friend and a lover. I'll bless the day I discover another heart looking for love. You came knocking on my heart's door. You're everything I've been looking for. No more looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces. So it changed to no more because he found her, right? And go through the chorus. You, oh, you, looking for love. So that changed at the end. I bless the day I discover you, oh, you, looking for love. In all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces. Goes through the chorus again, searching their eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Now that I've found a friend and a lover, I bless the day I discover you, oh, you, looking for love in all the wrong places. Okay, so like I said, this is very much what we've always said, that he's looking for love and he doesn't believe he can have it with Beth because he thinks she died 10 years ago, but that's really is what he's looking for. Um, so, I mean, in terms of what is actually said, I think I kind of said everything I was thinking, but here's the other thing I will say. I'm sorry, my voice is going today. Um, to me, this shows that he is going to find her in season 3. There's been a lot of people worried about that. Well, what if we don't actually see her in season 3? Or what if, she doesn't show up till season 4? Now, obviously, the sooner the better. I would much prefer she shows up in season 3, but if we got to wait till season 4, I think you guys know by now that I'm here for it. I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna wait till the end of the spinoff and see what happens. We're not gonna give up 2 episodes before we see her or something. But this, to me, the fact that they're posting this now, maybe we won't see their whole reunion. Maybe we won't see a whole lot of screen time with them. I don't know. But this does suggest that he is going to find her this season, or at least become aware that she's alive. Um, really, because why would they say this? No more looking for love in all the wrong places. So, okay, to play devil's advocate, which I've already said a million times, even if it's not Beth, he's going to find his love interest, whoever she is, this season. That's why they're posting this. No more looking for love in all the wrong places or looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Now that I've found a friend and a lover, I bless the day I discovered you, oh, you, looking for love. He's going to find her here. And y'all know I don't think it's going to be anyone other than Beth. So even if it's just hearing her voice on the radio or seeing her from a distance, or, we don't know what it's going to look like, this sounds to me like they're telling us it's going to be this season. I don't think they would post this and then not have her show up till next season. So this is super exciting. I'm really liking this. And this is so sweet when you apply it to Beth and Daryl. That almost made me a little bit teary-eyed when I first read that chorus because it's perfect. It's so perfect, for Daryl. And that's exactly why they're posting it with pictures of him from season 3, right? That's why they're doing this. So thank you for sending this in. You know that I don't follow this very well, so I would have missed it. But that's fantastic. So thank you, Obadella, too. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it there for the day, and I will be back in a couple more days. I think I'm going to be able to get one more video out before the premiere. And then, yeah, Sunday's coming out as fast. So talk to you again soon.